Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's episode is going to be about replacing a bumperette on a 2012 Porsche Boxster right behind me. We're going to try to accomplish this without taking the bumper cover itself off. So stay tuned. Alright, so as you can see, we've got the bumperette from Porsche and I've already painted it and it looks like it just clips on. Now these clips have to be accessed from behind to get them to release, taking off the old one. So getting off the old one's going to be the trick. Once we get the old one off, it shouldn't be a problem getting the new one on because it just clips on. We'll just be able to pop it in. It should be pretty easy. So the tough part is going to be getting the old one off without taking the bumper cover off. So let's try that now. Here we go. Alright, so the plastic clip tools didn't work very well, so we're going to use this old bumperette as a sacrificial piece. I'm going to trim this outside piece off without going too deep because there's something behind this. Actually, I think it's a piece of a reinforcement behind there. So if I cut this off, I can access back there and get those clips loose. Alright, so that's why I did not cut very deep first, because there's a bumper pad there. Now I can trim a little bit more and see what I'm trimming without hitting anything important. So I'm going to trim a little bit more off of this bumperette so I can get back behind there and release those clips. Alright, trying to cut corners didn't work out real well for me. Let me show you why I can't just clip the new one in. This plate here is what it actually clips into. The bumper actually sandwiches in between this plate and the bumperette. And this plate is just loose in there. So there's no way of holding this and clipping the new one in without taking the bumper cover off. So after all that, I still have to pull the bumper cover off. Doesn't pay to cut corners. Never easy. Alright, so during the intro I said we're going to be putting this bumperette on without taking the bumper cover off. Clickbait. I'm kidding. I did try it. I showed you there. We ran into some issues that we're not going to be able to do that. So we are going to be pulling this bumper cover off. And one thing I like to do when I'm taking a bumper cover off or working on any car, I'll go on YouTube and pull up videos just and watch people break stuff so I don't have to break it. No, just if you'll go online, even if I've done it before, sometimes they might know a trick that you don't know or something like that, so I always like to go search. And I did the search for this 2012 Boxster rear bumper cover. There's no videos out there. There's a lot of 996 stuff, but no Boxster stuff. So I'm going to make a video, so there will be one out there now. Hopefully it helps somebody out. We're going to do that now. Here we go. Alright, so these are the tools you're going to need to take a rear bumper off of a 2012 Porsche Boxster. This is a T30 Torx driver for the Torx screws. Some of the ones you can't get to, you're going to need either a hand ratchet or an electric ratchet with a T30 socket on the end. You're also going to need an 8mm socket for the tail lights, the bolts that hold the tail light on, a 13mm for the spoiler, a clip tool for miscellaneous clips, a pick tool for taking the plugs loose for the tail lights and the tag lights. You can also use this to push the little pieces out of the clips that hold the spoiler on, or you can use a small screwdriver. Alright, so let's get the trunk open. Little switch here. I've already taken this side loose. It's basically, it's got a little cover and these little wing nuts here. They go over the bolts that hold the tail light in. And that's what it looks like. We got 3 10mm. We got one here, some over there. We need to get it unplugged and get those 10mm out. We'll get the tail light out. not 10 millimeters, they're 8 millimeters. All right, getting the tail light out revealed 2 screws we need to take out, and it's going to be a T30. Take these out. One right there, and one right there. So we're going to get those out now. So it's looking like this side's a little bit different. So I'm going to take these clips out, take this little twist off wing nut. And there's some back behind here, so I gotta get these off first. So it looks like a half turn, and then this cover just comes right off. Will give us access to the other wing nuts. The plug and the 8 millimeters. Alright, so I gotta raise this little spoiler because there are some bolts back behind it. We're going to put the key in the accessory position, and there's a button on the dash. We're going to push that and raise the spoiler. So, key in the accessory position. There's a button right here, which raises the spoiler. So there are some T30s, Torx. There's 1, 2, 3 all the way over there. So it's looking like no way to access those screws without taking the spoiler off. So we're going to do that. Looks like we got to push in here, and a push in here. So we'll get those 3 push-ins off and get the spoiler off. Alright, so the way these little clips work, you just push the inner piece in. It's got a little filler that spreads the teeth out, which holds it in place. If you'll push it through, it'll fall down into there. Don't lose those because you're going to need them. Next step is going to be taking a 13 millimeter, taking that nut off so we can get this black piece off. Alright, we should be able to lift this straight off. Now I can lower these shafts because this shaft is shrouding this screw here. Alright. Now that the pedestals are out of the way, we can take this T30 and take these screws out. Alright, so I think we've got all the screws out of the top. There's some underneath here in the wheel well. So right up in, right there, T30. So it looks like we have 6 more Torx. We've got one here, one there, and over here by the tailpipe. See that one right there? There's one on either side of the tailpipe. There, and on the other side, and then those 2 back over there. So we're gonna get those out now. So we'll get those screws out of the bottom, and we should be able to set the bumper off. Oh, there's one other thing. The tag lights have plugs. So when we're setting the bumper off, we're gonna make sure that we get those unplugged. We might have to actually take the lights out and unplug them before we take the bumper off. But we're gonna try to slide the bumper off before we unplug them. Alright, so this tool is too long. I can't get it up in there behind on the exhaust side, so we're going to break out the Milwaukee. Alright, so I got the bumper off. We're going to get that bumperette. As you can see, this is that piece I was talking about. It just flops around here, and it clicks to the bumperette, and the bumper actually is sandwiched between the 2. So let's get that clicked on and we can get this bumper put back on. So when you're coming off with the bumper and going back on, you're going to want to unplug those tag lights. You just there's enough slack in the wires to just kind of set it off. Reach in there, pop the plugs loose, and then when you're going back on, just reverse order. So I'm going to be reassembling this thing, getting it put back on. Going to do all that in time lapse because you've seen everything come off in regular form. So here we go. Alright, so we've got this rear bumper on. It's all buttoned up. It looks awesome. All that's left to do is do a light check. It's getting pretty late here, so we're going to call it a night. And in the morning we'll do a light check, which consists of basically checking the tail lights, the turn signals, the backup lights, and the tag lights, and make sure they're all working. Make sure I didn't forget to plug anything up, and make sure all the bulbs are good. Don't want to send him down the road with nothing working. So we'll do that and give the car a bath, and it'll be ready to go at that point. So we'll see you in the morning. Alright, so it's the next morning. We're going to get this thing washed up and get the lights checked, and it'll be ready to go home. So we're going to get on that now. Here we go. Alright, so when checking the lights, it's always good to have another person with you. I got tail lights, I got brake lights. Left, yes. Right, yes. Reverse, yes. Leave the lights on. I'm going to check the tag lights. And they are working. Pearls of wisdom from an old dirty body man.
People have been telling me for years I need therapy, but screaming and cussing is cheaper and a whole lot more fun.
That's perfect. Alright guys, so that's going to be about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, hit the like button. I also hope you got a lot of useful information out of it, and if you have any questions about what I did, leave a comment and I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability, and as soon as I can. Also, hit that subscribe button. You guys don't understand how much that means to me. I check my subscriber count multiple times a day, and just one subscriber puts a smile on my face. So subscribe, like, share, and I'll see you guys on the next one. See ya.
But screaming obscenities, obscenities, I cannot say it.
Obscenities.
Obscenities, cuss words.